In this video, we will continue with R formula. You will find this on page 464 in the Namibian AS-Level Mathematics textbook, y equals mx plus c to success. Let's look at another example. Express 3 sin theta plus 4 cos theta in the form r sin theta plus alpha, where r is a positive constant and alpha is an acute angle. Hence, find the maximum and minimum values of each of the following. Okay, so I don't want to find the value of x, just the maximum or the minimum. Now, the first one is just, let's just get the pen correct. If you compare, it's exactly that one. Okay, can I just show you? This is exactly, but then they add 2. This is exactly, they square and they add 2. And this is exactly, then they cube it and add 2. Okay, so what do we first do? We're first going to start and do what we did in the previous video. So we're first going to write it in terms, we're going to find the value of r, and we're going to find this acute angle. Okay, so first we write it out. Then we form our two equations, and then we divide the 2 by equation 2 divided by 1, and then we get the acute angle. And then we find the value of r by squaring the two equations and adding them, and r is 5. And then we are working with this. Now we can go further with this. Okay. Now, the first one is straightforward. So we will get a maximum, think of the sin graph, when this is positive 1, and a minimum when it's negative 1. So basically, I just have to substitute this green. Do you see? Can I show you that you just see the repeating of everything every time? Okay, so there is the green. So basically, I'm just going to take the 5 in front. I know that the theta plus the acute angle will be 1. So can I show you? That one will be that one. And then I just times it with 5. And then this one will be this one, and I times it with that 5. So that 5, and I just show you here, is coming there. There is the 5 coming. Okay, so basically that is the two answers. I want to show you how it repeats again. So again, can I just take another color? Can I show you every time? I just want to go to my ruler again. Every time I start with this statement, except once, which I will show you now. So I start again with this statement, and I start with this statement. I write it, but I write also the plus 2. Can I show you from here? What color will I use, which I did not use yet? Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see if the white works. Okay, so in this case, plus 2. So here is the plus 2. Do you see? So the normal one plus 2, and that's 7. So the normal one plus 2, and that's negative 3. Okay, you don't want to work, so I just have to get another color to let it work. Okay, let's take red. But red is for the 1. So let's take the blue, green. The green will work. So plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and then I get my two answers. Now, when the expression is squared, the minimum value of negative 1 will not work. Why? Because what you will do is you will take the negative 1 and you square it and you get a positive 1. And you want it to be 0. So, this is the only time, and it will only for the minimum, that I will change this. And I want you to take note, and I'm going to make it a little bit different, that I put it then equal to 0. And then I repeat exactly again the same as I did every time. So can you see? Just want to get the pen in a ruler. So I repeat every time that. Okay. Now it's just with the plus 2. So it's the same, plus 2. This is the same, but now I square, and I plus 2. So I take this value, the 5, and I square, and then I multiply it with 1. and then I plus 2. But this one I multiply with 0, and then I plus 2, and I get my answers. Okay, and then the last one, now it's to the power of 3. Can you see there? Can I show you? So there it was to the power of 2 plus 2. There it's to the power of 3 plus 2. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to now write this to the power of 3 plus 2. So 5 to the power of 3 times 1 plus 2, and there is my answer. Now, when the expression is cubed, the minimum value, you can go with the negative again. Why? Because negative 1 to the power of 3 will keep the negative 1. So if you can take note, I was at just like I did with A, B, I did with D. Then now I just cube it, so I cube the 5, and then I will multiply with negative 1, that negative 1 there, and then I plus 2, and I get my answer. Okay, it's not so difficult. So when you do the sum, you can always reflect back. It's making use of the same principles, and that's how you will do a calculation like this. Okay. I want you to stop the video, and again, I'm going to give you all of them, and the reason why I'm giving you all of them is just because they are different, and I want you to reflect back to the previous one to help you. Okay, but in this case, can you see now? You will see that the expression is just another one. Okay, so express 5 sin. Again, stop the video, and as soon as you are finished, you can continue the video. So express 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta in the form r sin theta minus, now it's just minus the acute angle, where r is positive constant, and theta, not theta, the acute angles, I'll say alpha, is an acute angle. Hence, find the maximum and minimum value of each of the following. Okay, let's start. So you first have to start with the sum with this. Before I come to the question, let's start by saying 5. Get my pen correct. 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta, and then it's r sin theta minus alpha. Okay. And again, and now I'm going to try to write it a little bit shorter. So it's going to be r, and then it's just going to be sin theta. Remember, it's sin. So if it's sin, then it's going to cos alpha minus, and again r, because I multiply it in after I make the big brackets. So r, and now it's cos theta sin alpha. Just going to move it a little bit. Sin alpha. Okay, and now don't forget that there, and I'm going to keep it to yellow, there. So my two equations, it's just good always to start with that at least. So it's going to be 5 equals r cos alpha, that's equation 1. The other one is 12 equals r sin alpha, that's equation 2. And then I'm going to say now, in this case, I'm going to say 2 divide 1, and if I say 2 divide 1, so I can just say 2 divide 1, and now I'm going to go to that directly. So tan, and that it's 2 divide 1 to get tan, and then it's 12 over 5. Okay, and then I press on my calculator. Make sure your calculator is on degrees, so press shift tan bracket 12 divide 5 close the bracket equals, and make it to 2 decimal places. So this is going to be 67.38 degrees. Okay, and that is going to be my final. Okay, and now don't forget also that I take and I square that, and I take 1 and I square that, and then I will always get the 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to r squared. So then again, if you simplify that, this is 25 plus 144, which is 169. And if I take the square root, I'm going to get 13 because r must be bigger than 0. Okay, So now I can end with my final statement. I can say, therefore, 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta is equal to 13 sin theta minus 67.38 degrees. Okay, so that is now my final. And now I can start with my A, B, and C. So let's start with number A. So number A is basically just the normal one. So, can you see? It's just basically the normal one. So I can say a max when sin theta minus the acute angle, and that is going to be equal to 1. Okay, so therefore, so I can now just substitute it there. So 5, let's get my pen correct. 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta is equal to 13. This is the normal one. Sin theta minus 67.38 degrees. Okay. So therefore, remember that 13, that's 1. So therefore, I can say the max value it's that 13, multiply that 1, and that will be 13. And I'm just going to underline it. Okay. Now I'm going to just move it a little bit so that we can do the other one just on the side. Then I'm just going to just move it up a little bit. We can see how many we fit in. Okay, then I can just go on. Okay, so then I can continue here, the blue, and I can say a min when sin, and that's now theta minus that angle, and now it's going to be negative 1. So it's going to be 5 sin theta minus, I think what we can do every time, because we work with this one, we don't have to write that statement out every time. Okay, I'm going to do it for the first one at least. Okay, so minus, just that you see that red statement. Moving it still a little bit. So therefore, the mean value, and now it's just going to be that 13, and remember that is multiplying negative 1, and that's going to be negative 13. Okay, so that was number A. I want to just go to number B. So again, the statement is going to stay the same. Every time it's going to stay. I will just change it. Let's just go first to B again. I'm just going to know. It's going to change a little bit, but the max, this statement, can I show you? No, it's also not always the same. I'm rather going to write it out. It's not necessary in the answer, but let's just go on that. Max when sin okay, so it's going to be 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta. And now, due to that statement, it's going to, I'm going to put a bracket. So I'm going to say 13, I'm using the red, 13 sin, and it's going to be theta minus 67.38. And now, remember, it's going to be, can I just take you to the question again? I want you to focus here. So it's the normal question, but then it's minus 3. So it's the normal question, and then minus 3. Okay, and so therefore, max value, and then now it's going to be 13 times that 1, but minus 3. And that is just going to be 10. And again, that is your answer. Okay, and now I continue with this one. So a minimum value, this one is still all right. So a minimum, it's the same. When sin theta minus the alpha is -1. So 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta is equal, okay, just move this, is equal to 13 sin theta minus 67.38, and it's going to be minus 3. The same, it's actually the same, but I'm going to say the minimum value. Now, I'm going to take the 13, that 13, I multiply it with the -1, okay, and then I just subtract 3. So instead of multiplying it with +1, I multiply it with -1. And I'm getting, it's -13 minus 3, so it's -16. So again, my minimum value in number B, this was also number B, is going to be -16. Okay, now I go to the bit more challenging ones. Let's just get to the white. And I'm going to make this, okay, I can at least make the writing in yellow. So number C. Okay, so can I just say the max is going to be all right. So let's just go for the max when sin, and it's going to still be 1. And it's still going to be, oh, let's just get that pen correct. It's still going to be 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta. And it's still going to be 13 sin. Okay, but now in this case, remember, can I take you back to the question? It's squared minus 3. So what will I do? I will square this. Basically, I will square this and then minus 3. So that will bring me, so therefore, the max value, okay, and now it's going to be 13 squared, multiply that one, okay, and then minus 3. So this is going to be 169 minus 3, and that's going to be 166. And again, that is my answer. Okay, now can I just write something here? I'm going to write it in white, and then I'll do it. So when the expression is squared, okay, I'm going to write it out. When expression is squared, sin theta minus 67.38 is equal to -1 will not work. Okay, because -1 squared will give a positive. Okay, and you want it to be 0, and you want it to be 0, or you can write the 0. So now sin theta minus 6, okay, let's rather say sin theta minus the alpha must be 0, will give the least value. Will give the least value. Okay, so this changed now, that statement. Now I can go on. So minimum when, I can just continue with the white, with the yellow. Minimum when sin theta minus let's just get that angle. Angle equals 0. So 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta equals bracket 13 sin theta minus 67.38. Shows that. And then I still square it and I subtract 3. Okay. So therefore, minimum value, remember it's 0 now, so it's going to be 13 squared times the 0. So not times now 1, but negative 1 times 0. Okay. And then I can subtract the 3. And that will give me an answer 0 minus, so the answer will just be negative 3. Okay, so that will be the answer of number C. And now I'm going for my finals. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to have it in line. I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, let's go for blue again. I just wanted that one to stand out. So number D. So I remember the question again. Can I go back to the question? Now, it's just like on the example question. But now, it's to the power 3 minus 3. That's better. That's actually easier. Okay. So let's just start. We're going to say for this one. Okay. So a max when sin, and this is just like I did the previous ones, minus the cubed, and it's 1. So therefore, 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta is equal to 13 sin theta minus 67.38. Okay, and that is to the power of 3 minus 3. Okay, so therefore, the max value, and that is going to be 13 to the power of 3, multiply that 1, okay, and then after that, we subtract the 3. And that will give me an answer of 2194. Oh, just going to rewrite it, it's a bit small. 2194. Okay, and again, this as I forgot to write it here. This was your answer. The minimum value here was negative 3. The maximum value is now 2194. Okay, and now I'm going to write again in white, and it's just to explain it. So when the expression is cubed, when the expression is cubed, the minimum value of sin theta minus the acute angle can be negative 1 again. Okay, will work. Why will it work? Because if you take negative 1 and you cube it, you will still get negative 1. Okay, so sin theta minus the acute is negative 1, will give the least value. The least value. So I can just basically go on there, and I'm going to take blue again, and this is number D. I'm going to say what I said in the top, so the minimum when it's that sin minus That's negative 1. Okay, so 5 sin theta minus 12 cos theta is equal to 13 sin theta minus 63.38. Okay, and now I'm going to cube it, and then I'm going to subtract the 3. So therefore, the minimum value, okay, and that is going to be 13 to the power of 3, multiply that negative 1, okay, subtract 3, and that answer will be negative 220 and 2 zeros, negative 2,200, and that will be my answer of the minimum value of number D.